Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president again.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 30.
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral vote, in Indiana with its 11th electoral vote, West Virginia, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I'm your host, Jeremy Prime, Major IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. I've been traveling so much, I can't even remember my own damn intro. And I've already done one stream today, and I couldn't remember what day it was then either. But who cares? You're not here for intelligence. You're here for grifting, and I am here to provide all of that. Good to see all of you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. As always, really appreciate it. And yeah, so it's Tuesday. Well, then fine, let it be Tuesday. I guess we got to have Tuesday night's main event tonight, even though apparently we did that last night and then I streamed over that. We'll figure it out, right? But we are doing gaming tonight. We have the Geeks and Gamers Play stream, and then we have Fortnite after that with me and Don 3PO. The Cobra Cow connection returns. Yes, the casino is going to be lit tonight. Obviously, their PvP's main channel was taken down, apparently false flagged. Who could have been doing that? I have no clues as to who could be behind that. It's just a mystery, guys. But let's see. Eric says, let's skip this and go to the gaming stream. Okay. All right. Well, you guys have a good one. Appreciate it. Eric wants us to end the stream now. So you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to all of you. All right. Somebody said best Cobra cast ever. Phil for 5 says pre-stream on the pre-Marmillion pre-stream tax. Wait, hang on. I fucked that up. Pre-tax on the pre-Marmillan pre-stream tax. There we have it. Okay, there. John Riley says, good. Now I can go watch water park videos. That's a good question. What are some, I am curious about this. That's a fascinating, you're a fascinating audience to talk to. But no, like, good. Now I can go watch water park videos. What are some random videos that you watch that are not related to politics or culture war or anything like that? What are just some random bits? Like, what is some random stuff that you like to watch to take your mind away from all the craziness in the world? Very curious about that. Cooking videos, fart videos, true crime. So Candace Owens, disc golf. That's a good one. Holy crap. There's a lot of answers. Yoga videos. Now, why would you be watching yoga videos, Gator? Why would you be watching yoga videos? I'm just very curious about that. Actually, don't answer that. I think I know. Fishing videos. That's what's up right there. Camping videos. Body cam. Mr. Nightmare. I don't know who that is. Retro gaming videos. Is that Dan Vask? Is that Dan Vask in the chat? History and gaming. Dan Vask videos. So we got retro gaming videos and Dan Vask videos. That's very interesting right there. Let's see. Anime videos, toy show videos. That's a good one. Martial arts, gardening, classic car repairs. That's what's up. Kevin Spears says Mustang video stuff, Meat Canyon. Wrestling, man, I can watch some old school wrestling videos. You get some of the shoot interviews from back in the day. It's the greatest thing ever. I absolutely love it. I mean, old school wrestling story videos are better than just watching wrestling at this point in time. Let's see. Hi, this is Dustin. Says Odin versus Goodyear, the great Massie debate this Friday on FNT. Yeah, I mean, I guess like people were tagging me because Odin, he's spurging out over what happened to Massie. They were like, you got to educate. I was like, I don't care what people on my crew say. We're going to disagree. It is what it is. So yeah, Kevin Spears says, like, if you love Trump. There we go. What is this? Oh, I've seen this one before. That's a good profile picture. Very, very good. But yeah, so anyway, we have more stuff to catch up on. And one thing in particular that, so you guys mentioned this to me the other day, and I wasn't overly familiar with this topic. And of course, I've been traveling a lot. And so the Asmongold versus Mtashed situation. Had no clue who Mtashed was. Didn't really understand what was going on there. So there's clearly some updates to this story. I'm sure most of you are already familiar with this story, but I had no idea what this was about. So we're going to pull up a Tectone video. Hail to Tectone. We've had him on Geeks and Gamers. He's a good dude. Like his content. But so this is Mtashed. This guy named Mtashed went after Asmongold. And Asmongold responded. And apparently this Mtashed person is basically a cuck and a beta and a loser. And he deleted everything after Asmon responded to him. So let's get educated on this. And then there's another update, apparently.
Today, we have the aftermath of Mtashed. Now, I actually made a video on Mtashed the other day. And that video was as follows. Mtashed just finished on himself. Wait, that's the name of the title? I didn't even know that was the name of the video. Okay, man, that felt crazy just reading out loud. That honestly caught me off guard. All right, yeah, so I made a video called
Rob, thank you for the 2 on Rumble.
On himself, and Asmongold also made a video called I'm So Done With This. 900,000 views 4 days ago. And essentially what it was Mtashed politically grifting, or maybe just being a Canadian. He was being retarded. And he was saying how he wishes he could shit talk all these people and not get any backlash for it whatsoever. Because the reality is, Mtashed is a soft pussy of a man. But I don't hold that against him. He's Canadian. It's in his blood. That's absolutely okay. Not all Canadians, but he himself is a true Canadian. He even says a boot, which is insane. He also even says sorry. Like, this guy is the stereotypical Canadian man. Now, I would like to say I'm very familiar with Canadians. I lived in Canada for 6 years. But since Mtashed got called out, he made a follow-up video where he said that he got divorced, he lost everything, which was a joke, trying to act unbothered. And Mtashed then proceeded to be so unbothered that he deleted his entire channel.
Now, this guy looks like 900,000 subscribers. Am I reading that correctly? So this Mtashed dude has 900,000 subscribers, and he deleted everything after he shit-talked to Asmongold. And then Asmongold responded to him. And like a typical leftist, he then ran and deleted everything in fear because big bad Asmongold responded to him. Again, this is your typical leftist bullshit. I've never heard of Mtashed, by the way. So if those in the audience that are saying you've never heard of him, I hadn't either. Many people in my chat the other day says, Jeremy, you got to cover the Mtashed situation with Asmongold. And I'm like, I have no idea who Mtashed is. I don't even know what that is. And so this is what we are catching up on right now.
I you not. So user here, left-wing Canadian Gensvet content creator, nukes his YouTube channel, privating all but 2 videos. This follows an emotional femme-coded crash out rant where he complained about toxic masculinity, blaming people like Asmongold, Clavicular, and Andrew Tate for men being so mean.
Toxic masculinity. That's where we are now. So what you have is a leftist that their own life is falling apart. And instead of taking some responsibility for the situation that you have found yourself in, you decide, I'm going to blame Asmongold. That's kind of setting the table for where we are.
To feminists, and it's a shame you didn't include my name. Unfortunately, Mtashed is horrified of saying my name publicly, but he'll do so in tweets. He DM'd me privately. He crashed the out on me in DMs, which is hilarious. Predictably, he was mocked and dragged to the coals for his insanely out of touch rant that mocks men's challenges in life. To add insult to injury, Asmongold reacted to his video, leading to the absolute annihilation of every single one of his emotionally charged feminist rants. Yes, if you want to know what a performative male looks like, look no further than Mtashed. I've been calling this guy out for 4 years, by the way.
I've never heard of this guy. Like 900,000 subscribers. And this just shows you how big YouTube is. I have never heard of this clown. Never heard of him. Have no idea. Obviously, it looks like he's into gaming content or something like that. I have no idea who this loser is.
People said I was wrong, by the way, when I called him out. Mtashed, and I'll go ahead and pull this up myself. I made a video on this guy called Mtashed the Hero came back and Tectone the villain crashed out immediately, where I've been calling out Mtashed for his poor behavior for 4 years now. But the problem is people fall for his Canadian goodwill and nice nature, when in reality I always knew it was passive aggression, because the reality is Mtashed has and always has wanted to be me. And this is the truth. He even crashed out on me.
The level of disrespect is so good. It's so good. Where Tectone's just like, he wants to be me. It's so fucking awesome. I love it. I love it.
Passive aggression, because the reality is Mtashed has and always has wanted to be me. And this is the truth. He even crashed out on me in DMs saying that he thinks that he deserves all the success that he gave me, which is hilarious, saying that he hooked me up with a advanced GG sponsorship, which I made, I don't know, 3% of what I've made off of.
That is exactly how you treat these people. You really do not, like, you have to show them. The problem with the leftists is what they do is they try to emotionally manipulate you. They try to bring all of these things into it, that they have a mental illness, or you're attacking them based on their ideology or their gender or their, appearance or whatever. Like they'll throw anything at you because they're trying to emotionally manipulate you. And the moment that you buy into their delusions, you're done. This is why I have continued to say that it is an absolute mistake in every possible way to bring Ellen Page onto the movie The Odyssey. It's a mistake to bring Ellen Page onto any production of that level in any capacity, because we've already learned from the Umbrella Academy, where they literally had to change Ellen Page's character's identity because of Ellen Page's real life mental illness. At that point in time, the fact that Christopher Nolan has invited that into his major motion picture production is unbelievable. You never, ever, ever, ever confirm these people's delusions. Ever. It is a losing battle. So you just have to mock them and laugh at them and shame them, because that's what it's all about. Pat K for $50 says, occasionally I'll put on Johnny Cash's Ragged Old Flag and sit there thinking about how awesome this country is. Happy 250 to the greatest place on earth. Remember to celebrate all year. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. Well said. Well said. And the greatness of Johnny Cash. The greatness of Johnny Cash. Thank you, Pat K199. Hail to you, and hail to all the Patriots out there. Happy 250 to everyone out there. Thank you for the support. We appreciate it.
Pushing gamer subs. By the way, Mtashed, if you ever apologize to me, I'll give you all the money I made off of Advanced GG. You can just have it. I don't need it anymore. I can tell that you probably need it more than I do. I would love to help you and your family. So just put out a public apology, and I want you to mean it. And I will give you all of the money that I made off of Advanced GG. Hopefully that can help support your wife and your kids. I would love to help out, because I know things are tight around the house. And I mean that genuinely. I understand how hard it must be, and that's why you're having the emotional breakdown that you are, because you realize that you're honestly just not that talented, and you're not that good at what you do. And just in case you and your family are struggling, I would love to give a helping hand. I'll give you $5,000. Just give me an apology and mean it. Leave me alone. I'll give you $5,000 to help your wife and your kids. Hopefully that helps out, because I'm just a good guy. It's not the algorithm's fault that no one takes him seriously. It's because no one wants to listen to a male feminist repeating the same tired feminist slogans that everyone has heard for the past 3 decades. And I want to let you know, I don't want you to hold it against Mtashed. He's retarded. He's retarded, and he's Canadian. He has no opinion of his own, and he has had tectone derangement syndrome for a very, very, very long time. This guy, I have lived rent-free in his head for a very long time. So I'm going to prove that right now. End of an era, Mtashed. I privated all of my content because some of my Genshin videos get 1 to 2K views every single.
Look at that, Madam Savvy there in the comment section to ratio him, because of course Savvy is there. Madam Savvy, always around.
Said for a very long time. So I'm going to prove that right now. End of an era, Mtashed. I privated all of my content because some of my Genshin videos get 1 to 2K views every single day. And I believe it keeps telling the algorithm that is my primary content. Going to see what happens if I just start fresh. Experiment begins today, lol. In case you guys are unaware of what Mtashed does, Mtashed has been copying my content for about 4 years now. And as I've left the space and he is no longer able to emulate what I do, he falls on his face. He's completely failed as a channel. He's completely failed as a content creator. This has been happening since day one. Since Genshin Impact came out, all he has done is emulate my content. And we will see that here still today. And would you like proof that that is all Mtashed does? We have a guy here called Turbo Bomo. Put question mark in chat. He doesn't believe what I'm saying. I'm going to read this to you one more time. I privated all my content because some of my Genshin videos get 1 to 2K views every single day. And I believe it keeps telling the algorithm it's my primary content.
This means that nobody likes you, bro. That's what this means to this Mtashed loser. That's what it means.
I'm going to see what happens if I just start fresh. This experiment begins today. Now, that sounds like a very good experiment. That sounds like a very good, interesting idea. What a innovative content idea that Mtashed has had entirely by himself.
No one has liked him in years. Yeah, like I said, man, I knew nothing of this guy. This is the first time because of the Asmongold stuff that I was aware of him. And yeah, he's got 900,000 views or 900,000 subscribers. Wait, has he made everything? Wait, did he unprivate everything? I'm on his channel now. Did he unprivate everything because he got roasted for it? I don't know what's going on here. There's a bunch of content over here now, but it's the higher viewed stuff. So he deleted all of his lower. No, that's got 7,500. That's a day ago. 9,400 2 days ago. What the hell is wrong with this guy, dude?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's just one problem. I've already done this. And I already started this in April 10th of 2026. 7 to 8 days ago, my views started to taper off, and some of my viewers, they kept getting old gotcha videos recommended to them. Some of my old gotcha videos get 1 to 2K views every day, and I believe it keeps telling the algorithm that's my primary content.
Holy shit. I didn't even know Tectone did this. So he privated 1,700 videos and felt they were no longer relevant anymore. Since then, my viewership has gone through the roof, and my click-through rate became higher as well. And so this guy is copying Tectone.
So I privated over 1,700 videos I felt were no longer relevant anymore. I privated all of my content. I will keep you updated if the upward trajectory continues. I will begin this new experiment. This is all Mtashed has ever done. This is all he ever will do. But the problem is, when you step into the arena of more political content or social commentary, you can't just mindlessly parrot what you hear. You're going to have to defend your stances.
Unless you're the quartering.
And the reality is, Mtashed, all you're doing is copying what I'm doing, and then you're claiming like that you're inventing this. You're not. You're doing exactly what I did. And my channel has exploded ever since I've done this, as I was the guy who originated.
Damn, 19 million views in 28 days. Fuck, maybe this is what I got to do. I mean, if I'd have to make videos again, first of all. So, why are we watching this whole video? Well, I was going to stop it right here, but since you're complaining about it, we're definitely going to finish now. So maybe you should have shut the fuck up, but now we're going to finish the whole video. Hail to Tectone.
This trajectory and this plan to do with your channel. But here's the reality, Mtashed. The moment I privated all of my videos, the moment that I privated all of my content, my viewership went up. Now, the problem is, Mtashed, you privated yours 2 days ago, and your views have now 1/5. You are now down 80% of your channel's viewership. And Mtashed, the reason why that is because you're just not that talented. As well as the issue that you're having here is, I did far more than just private 1,700 videos. And I was going to do an update video on this in 3 months of me testing before I put this out into the content creator sphere. I've labeled how my current success has gone, how my current trajectory has gone, but I'm doing something that you are not doing. And I am not going to publicly
Okay, you guys know what's about to happen. This is what quartering is going to do. Quartering is going to do this. Mark my words. Quartering copies everybody, and he's going to do this. This is 1,000% going to happen now.
disclose what that is until we've hit 3 months of testing. The problem is you wanted to join in. You wanted to copy your daddy. You wanted to do what I did. And the problem is, if you would have just waited instead of once again half-cocked going into a field that you really don't know that much about, you have just destroyed your channel. Now, I am going to give you advice, friendly advice, from someone who should not be friendly to you. You need to unprivate all of your videos. You need to make
It looks like he did. Holy shit.
Public all of your shorts and all of your YouTube videos again, because what you're doing will not work for you. Because once again, I did one other thing that you up, and you did that one thing wrong. I hate how I'm trying to give you advice on how to put food on your plate while you're trying to destroy everything that I have. But Mtashed, I am telling this to you as someone who really should not give a fuck about you. You are going to destroy your entire YouTube channel if you keep all of those videos privated.
And so apparently now we have an update to this where now again, I'm only going on the information I have because I'm still a little fuzzy on the details, but if you go to his channel, it looks like he has unprivated all of his videos now, because it says that he has 480 videos on his channel. 480 videos. When Tectone was covering this, he had, just a couple. So that's freaking hilarious, dude. Leftists are always like this. Now, he has a video that I'm not going to react to in detail, but this guy has uploaded a video right
Fries
here.
are in the bag, boys.
And it says, Asmon, my life is over, and the loser Tectone, and he has already been ratioed. So this is ratioed now with 1,400 down votes to only 900 up votes, and he's apparently crying about Asmongold and Tectone.
Fries are in the bag, boys. I lost everything. My wife did just leave me as well. It's over, and I never should have attacked Asmongold. I never should have said anything about him. I should have attacked his arguments, not him. And that loser Tectone, I should have never, ever, ever talked to that guy. That was a big mistake. Let's have a little chat. I gained nothing from making this video, really.
He's got to be joking. He's got to be. That's got to be sarcasm. That's got to be sarcasm.
It's actually a lose-lose situation in almost every situation. Content creation on drama is an infinite money glitch. Because if I respond to the drama, I lose. If I don't respond to the drama, I lose. And
Loser Alter Ego says, you haven't caught up on politics at all. Why are we watching internet drama? Well, because unlike other streamers, I actually listen to my chat. And the only reason I know about this is because someone super chatted me about it the other day. So, sorry for listening to the chat.
And whoever makes the last video, for the most part, wins, because they can provide context that wasn't there, or they can break down and dismantle arguments that maybe weren't even being made. It's a very tough situation to be. I most likely don't win, no matter what I say or no matter what I do. I can't convince you, and I won't ever change your opinion. The heels are dug in, and I get that. If I attack your favorite...
Okay, so I'm not going to listen to the rest of this, but this is just wild that this guy has ended up in this situation. I haven't heard Asmongold's response to all of this, but I would like to, but I'm going to do a deeper dive on that. But just kind of showing you it's the exact template of a leftist. Attack someone, that person responds, and then you play the victim. Every single time, this is how it plays out. It never fails. This is their argument every time. It's the same playbook. It's the same tactic, and it's the same result. Okay? So we'll leave it at that for now. I do want to look. I'm trying to find, I know that, whatchamacallit, Hero Hay had a good video on it that I wanted to look into, but his video was like an hour and a half long. So I'm like, I don't want to watch an hour and a half long video of this. So I will check out more of this. But anyway, you guys wanted me to kind of check into this a little bit. Apparently, he talked shit about Asmon. Asmon responded. He cowered like a little girl. He then deleted everything. Tectone responds. Tectone tells him to unprivate all of his shit. And now he's unprivated all of his stuff. And now he's making this video where he's claiming that his family is destroyed and he should have never attacked Asmongold personally, whatever. So that's the gist of it right there. So, all right. Thank you guys for hanging out. Let's see who's in the chat. I am Brockatron says, weird how the Massie weirdos are fine with him voting to increase the debt ceiling for Biden, but not Trump. Also, voting against the wall and ICE funding, and also having Israeli billionaire donors. Yeah, so I actually do have something to talk about on the front of that. And I do think that it's interesting timing, because if you are to remember, I doubted Trump a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And I essentially said, hey, I don't think that Trump can primary Massie. This is what I said back when this whole thing started. Well, guess who was wrong? I was wrong, okay? And there's an interesting dynamic that goes along with this, because this is where I'm setting the table. And this is why I had the intro that I had tonight. It's about Trump won't win. Trump can't win. Trump can't do this. Trump can't do that. You know, that's the same narrative we've heard for over a decade now. MAGA's dead. Trump has no influence. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, what we just learned is that you never, ever, ever doubt President Trump. And most people already realize that at this point in time. But with what we're seeing right now, with what happened, I think that we all need to recognize that, because the narrative is the midterms right now. Midterms. When Trump is ready to turn up the heat, we're going to be in good shape. All right. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. We all know that. But when Trump is ready to turn the needle, I think everything is going to be okay. Trump is still the boss. Massie crushed in primary as Trump goes 37-0
against Galrain, which he was the biggest primary race ever, $32 to $34 million put into the Thomas Massie race against Galrain, which he was projected to. I mean, Massie had a massive lead, and then all of a sudden it kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. More money was being put into it, and
keep in mind, and this is what I want, this is how I'm framing this. Massie had a giant lead, okay? Had a giant lead. And then what happened? What happened? Trump happened. That's what happened.
Next thing you know, news comes out, it's even, thank you. Then it went to, well, he's got a lead. Then he went to, well, no, he lost. And then, you know, so the Trump, the biggest tweet yesterday that the president put, because everybody said, well, because of the economy, because of affordability, because of Iran, because of the war, because of interest rates, because of all this stuff, there is no way a Trump endorsement has the same weight anymore. And guess what?
Now, again, I want you to listen to what he just said and apply that to what everybody is saying about the midterms. That's exactly the narrative that's going on about the midterms.
Because of interest rates, because of all this stuff, economy, because of affordability, yesterday that the president put, because everybody said, well, because of the economy, because of affordability, because of Iran, because of the war, because of interest rates, because of all this stuff, there is no way a Trump endorsement has the same weight anymore. And guess what he tweeted? This is it. 6:25 a.m. 37-0. Anybody he endorsed won. Pennsylvania 10-0. Alabama 6-0. Kentucky.
Hey, real quick, if you guys, I don't know who's here modding, but we really need to ban this person from the chat. This is very disrespectful. Look, Donkey Kong Country is a great game. Okay, it's not better than Super Mario World. Okay, so like we need to get you out of the chat right now, whoever you are. I don't know how you managed to get a wrench next to your name. But Super Mario World is much better than Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country is legendary, okay? Mario World is the definitive game of our time, okay? So please calm down with the hate speech in my chat. Thank you very much.
Kentucky 6-0. Oregon 1-0. Idaho 5-0. Georgia 9-0. And there's a lot of people that are not happy about this. There's a lot of people that are hoping his endorsement no longer carries weight, but it does. So Massie yesterday, he lost to the Navy SEAL, Galrain. And here's what Massie had to say in his speech last night. I want to get your thoughts on why do you think this happened. Go ahead, Rob.
I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrain in Tel Aviv.
Look, I don't have a problem with this, man. Like, whatever. This is who Thomas Massie is. This doesn't bother me at all. So let him show you who he is. And so this doesn't bother me one bit. I think he should continue to show you who he is and what he's all about. Mar Millen says, double it, stream chat grift tax. Missed to start again, damn it. But hey, I got a post-stream grift tax. Yes, you did. I saw that earlier, and I do appreciate it. Thank you, Mar Millen. Hail to you. So much appreciated. Let's see. Unworn Owl for 20 says Republicans did not spend 30 million plus on the Massie race. They spent that much for every red race in Kentucky. The District 4 race was only 7 million. Massie raised and spent more than Ed. Check the FEC, FEC or open secret for the fact check. Well, the one thing I do want to show about this, and thank you for that, I appreciate it, and thank you for the 20. I do want to show this with Thomas Massie the other day because I meant to show this on my stream last night, and I didn't get a chance to. But this is funny right here because Thomas Massie actually was running his mouth, and this is his arrogance. Listen, when you're going up against Trump, you don't have any room to be arrogant, okay? This is who he is right here, okay? This is who Massie is.
America first. Thomas Massie becomes the face of that politically.
This civil war in the party has gotten so out of hand. They sent the Secretary of War to my district today to campaign against me. I don't think that's ever been done.
It's also illegal.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure, but it's insane. Like, we're in the middle of a war. Why should the Secretary of War come to Kentucky? I say it's because I'm harder to beat than Iran, and I don't even have a nuclear weapon.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder, you singing that same tune today there, Thomas Massie?
To Kentucky. I say it's because I'm harder to beat than Iran, and I don't even have a nuclear weapon. That's because the weapon I have are the people behind me. We talked about
really, fool?
Money
really,
raised,
fool?
And I took objection with the fact that he was raising money. He's the warm body. Literally, the president calls him a warm body from Central Casting. That much I agree with on the president, who was just recruited. The money was already there for him. What's shocked me and surprised me is we've raised like $7 million, $50 at a time from tens of thousands of donors. I never expected.
So anyway, there's your boy right there, him and his arrogance, and now he is conceding right here. Thank you, Eric Guidewall. 5 gifted memberships.
I did get the call through, though. I have called and conceded the race. We've been honorable the whole time, and we're going to stay that way.
Okay, and he kept goodness. Tom, why do you think Massie lost last night?
Massie lost for one reason. The power of influence in the political races out there on the Republican side still rests with Donald Trump. You've got your issues, you've got places out there, but Trump went out and said, that's not my guy anymore, that's my guy. And you have these folks up there that are trying to play the money game, do the spending game, and here you had this incredible spend, but the guy who still is carrying the influence with the American voter on the Republican side is Donald J. Trump. And he went sideways on Trump, and Trump got behind the opponent. And by the way, you know, you could sit there and ask yourself, not just us, but let's go to a Starbucks in the middle of the district and ask people, what do you really know about Galrain? And people were like, well, there's a lot of money floating around, but they didn't know. He's a farmer, was a Navy SEAL. They know, and then you say, okay, that's good. At least you know his name, you know he's farmer, Navy SEAL, but nobody really knew him. But when Trump comes out and says, I'm not with this guy, I'm tired of it, I'm over here, guess what? That just showed everybody where the weight was. I think
that's the game changer right there. So the point I'm trying to make here is that, you know, a lot of people doubted, present party included. Take it easy, Dan. Appreciate you, brother. But yeah, so a lot of people doubted that Trump could even get Massie gone within his, area there. And I did too. And guess what? That's exactly what Trump did. Very easily, by the way. Very, very easily. So do not doubt President Trump. When the midterms start rolling around, you're going to see a whole different Trump. This is essentially, to break it into a sports analogy, Donald Trump is going to be Tom Brady in the fourth quarter of the Atlanta Falcons New England Patriots Super Bowl. That's what Trump's going to be when it's time for the midterms. He's going to turn into Tom Brady and he's going to go ham. That's what's going to happen. So don't be a panicking. That's the point. Don't be a panicking. As long as you're not a panicking, you're going to be fine. Okay? Simple as that. John freaking Murdoch, for $100, says, hey, Jeremy, I missed super chatting during your earlier stream. I'm making up for it. Still got that cosmic force thing going. Hail iDots, hail the 199, and happy Jessica. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. I'm going to forgive you for missing the stream earlier. Okay? I'm going to forgive you. I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I need more super chats in order to make up for the fact that I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I would never do that. I mean, why would I do that when you just sent me $100? Why would I? That would be insane to do that. Like, why would you make a big deal of somebody not sending you a super chat earlier when they're clearly here sending $100 now? It would be inappropriate for me to bring up the fact that you totally did not show up earlier. And it really kind of threw me off a little bit because I was trying to make my points, and I'm like, where's John freaking Murdoch at? I don't know, where's John at? Like, but I can't focus because John freaking Murdoch didn't show up. But anyway, I don't want to make a big deal of it, so I'm not going to. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm not going to make a big deal of it. And, you should probably appreciate that. So thank you, John. Why am I so stupid? What is wrong with me? Somebody keeps asking what's my favorite restaurant. I don't know if this is a meme or if I'm walking into a joke or whatever. My favorite restaurant, I don't really know if I have a favorite restaurant. I mean, I don't really go to fancy restaurants or anything like that. So, Culver's, I guess. I don't know. So, oh, good for you, John. Oh, good for you. And how was it? Because it's useless now. Wait a minute. Sorry. Thank you, John, for 50. I was lurking during that stream. I just didn't super chat. Thank you, John. I am so lucky to have people that deal with my sarcasm. Thank you, John. Sincerely, I appreciate it. Then I pulled the Christian Bale on you. You know what? We need to pull that up really quick. Many people have seen it, but others have not seen it. And we have to show you because it's one of the greatest videos of all time. It's Christian Bale versus Bill O'Reilly. Okay. And it's one of the great videos in history. Christian Bale's freak out versus Bill O'Reilly's freak out. All right. This is what the internet was made for right here.
That's tomorrow. And that is it for us today.
What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
I want you off the fucking set, you prick.
Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
What don't you fucking understand?
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out?
Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur. What don't you get about it? Are you professional or not?
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
To end the show?
No! No!
All right, go.
You're unbelievable, man. You're unfucking believable.
That's tomorrow, and that is
Give me a fucking answer!
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. Let's go again!
We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Oh, good for you.
Fucking thing sucks.
Fucking kick your fucking ass. You know, shut up for a second, all right?
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Stay off the fucking set, man. Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
It's one of my favorite videos. Oh, 17 years ago that was made. 17 years ago. That is just proof of how old I am. I was already old when that video premiered. Oh my goodness. Can someone explain to a non-American? Okay. I don't know if you know who the actor Christian Bale is. He's my favorite actor of all time. Christian Bale on the set of Terminator Salvation had a very, very famous or infamous meltdown on set, and it was captured via audio. That was released to the internet. It went viral and crazy. He was absolutely out of his mind. It was awesome, by the way. Made me a bigger fan of him. At the same time, you've had this legendary Bill O'Reilly freak out that happened on Inside Edition. So someone basically mashed those two together and made it seem like they were arguing with each other. Play the OG. I maybe a little bit later we'll play the OG. I want to get back to the point I was making about Massie and Trump and all of that, but maybe a little bit later we can do that. The original is amazing, by the way. It's so good. But let's get back on point here.
I think it's that simple.
By the way, what is this Trump talking about Massie? Go forward, Rob.
We won the Massie thing. He was a bad guy. He deserves to lose. Thank you very much, everybody.
Out here with families and kids and just trashing Massie. It's amazing, right? That's amazing.
Massie, go forward, Rob.
We won the Massie thing. He was a bad guy. He deserves to lose. Thank you very much, everybody. Wait, surprise me.
You can pause it right there. Okay, look, what do you think?
I will put the context with this as I don't, A, it's not my bailiwick. B, there's a lot of money in our elections. But I think it has a lot to do with money. I think it has a lot to do with money. It's America.
Do you think it's money or do you think it's endorsement? Because
what the fuck is this guy saying? I don't even know who this guy is. Is he trying to say that Massie lost because of money and not because of Trump's endorsement, which is proven to be over the past 10 years, Trump's endorsement has proven to be the single most powerful thing in politics. And yet now you want to sit here and go, oh, it's just about money. Shut the fuck up.
Bush had $140 million and Trump beat him on day one. So we can say money. Trump didn't have anything to do on day one with money. Nobody in 2015 when he ran. And then there was another guy, if you remember Scott Walker. Do you remember the name Scott Walker? He disappeared. He was supposed to be our president. I don't know if you remember that or not. Scott Walker was like the guy. You know, Hillary Clinton had all the money. You know, Kamala Harris had all the money. So is it really all the money? Because money doesn't seem to help. Hillary didn't help.
Look, man, you go back to, I've talked about this many times. And I haven't mentioned this in a while, so I'll repeat this point again. I've said this for a long time. Donald Trump took advantage of a broken political system. Politics was never about policy. Politics was never about who was good for the country. Politics was never about any of that shit. Politics was a beauty contest. And I don't mean that like, you know, literally, but figuratively. Like it was about the person who could perform and entertain, the person that could connect with the people. That's what it was. Okay. Exactly. This is the point here. We've seen a lot of billionaires lose elections. Exactly the point. Thank you. So here you have, going back to as long as I've been following politics, the first prominent election that I remember being like super, super like aware of anything was Bill Clinton. And I remember that Bill Clinton was marketed back then as the first black president. Now, why was he marketed like that? Because he went on the Arsenio Hall show, which was a talk show back then. He went on the Arsenio Hall show and he played a saxophone with sunglasses. That's why he won. It had nothing to do with anything else. No one voted for Bill Clinton because of anything other than that, because he was perceived as being cool. I'll pull it up right here. And that was the only thing that I remember them talking about. Nobody talked about policy or accomplishments. This right here, this. That's it. Yeah, and I know people are talking about Ross Perot stuff and all that, but like Bill Clinton definitely had an ability to connect with people. He just did. He had an aura about him. He was able to communicate. That's what he was good at, 100%. But the point being is that regardless if Ross Perot took votes away or whatever, doesn't change the fact that it has nothing to do with policy. It has zero to do with policy. Politics was never about that. George W. Bush, okay? Why was George W. Bush elected? Why? Was it because of all of his amazing accomplishments? No. Did anybody pay attention to all of his amazing failures before he became president? No. It was because he had a recognizable last name and he was the kind of beer you could have the kind of guy you could have a beer with. That's it. I can relate to that guy. He's got a little bit of a southern twang to his voice, and he's the type of guy I can have a beer with. Nobody voted for George W. Bush because of policy and accomplishment. Not even fucking close. So then, of course, that leads us to who? Barack Hussein Obama, a former community organizer and a one-term senator. And that guy was, at the time, until Joe Biden came along, the most popular president in history. Why did Barack Hussein Obama get elected? Was it because of policy? Was it because of policy? Was it because of all of his amazing accomplishments? No, not even close. So the point being is that politics has always been a popularity contest. It's never been, it's basically WWE. Okay. So President Trump, or Donald Trump at the time, came into an already broken system. And he's like, nobody has more aura than the Don. Nobody's a better showman than the Don. So if you guys want to have your broken system, I'm going to go in here and shatter the system. I'm going to completely shatter it. And that is exactly what he did.
Kamala didn't help. Scott Walker didn't help Jeb Bush. But how is it that in this case you think it's just money?
Well, I would say it's, clearly his I'm not saying his Trump's endorsement clearly still means a lot. Clearly, you
means a lot. 37-0 means a lot. That's like saying in the mid-90s that clearly Michael Jordan means a lot to the Bulls, guys. You know, clearly Michael Jordan means a lot, you know, but I'm not sure that Michael Jordan is the reason the Bulls are winning. Shut the fuck up. You have no idea. I don't know who this guy is, but he has no idea what he's talking about.
Can't argue that with the races. You look at, what was it? He won by, it was, I think, a total of 90,000 votes, was it? They won by 7,000 votes, something like that. $32 million to swing 7,000 votes. It's a lot. The fact is, it's the single biggest spend in a congressional election. That is a lot of money.
Indeed.
I think, if centralization works everywhere else, if spending a lot of money works everywhere else, I don't think you can discount it.
But the reality of it is, why doesn't he get more money? He can get more money.
Who's that?
Massie. He's got a lot of billionaire friends that are on the set. I even think he had a guy named Jeff Yass, who is a $65 billion net worth guy, who is part of a lot of pro-Israel programs. He gave Massie $1 million. He got some money. It's not like he couldn't get more money. Why doesn't he get more money?
Yeah, good question. I don't know.
I think it has to do with the age composition of the voters, and
that's actually a very good point. If you want to pull that up, Rob, because
it has to do with Donald Trump. Quit trying to overcomplicate shit. It has to do with one thing: Donald Trump. Take Trump out of the equation, fundamentally changes every single aspect of the American political system.
The audience needs to see this. The older boomers voted for him, and the only age category that Galrain won was the older category. I'll pull this up while you're
precisely.
going.
So
go for it.
It is only the older voters. Now, who are they, and why does it make a difference? I mean, obviously, you could do further analysis on their political sort of leanings and so on, but I think the single most important correlating factor is
I can't, like, these talking heads, like, I hate when people try to complicate the obvious. But of course, they've got to have something to talk about, right? I mean, I can sit here and just talk about whatever. I can just read the chat and just respond for 3 hours. I don't need to, create a conversation to have a conversation. But these guys have to create all of this nonsense. Again, I'll bring it back to sports. For years and years and years, the sports media, the ESPN sports media would create this ridiculous narrative of, was it Brady or Belichick? There was no discussion, but they created a fake discussion. And a lot of stupid people fell for that discussion. But the answer was obvious. It was always Brady. There was never a discussion for anybody that actually paid attention. And time has obviously proven that theory to be correct. But the sports media blinded people for all of those years, making everyone think that Belichick was like this guy that could take any quarterback and win Super Bowl every single year. It just was not true. It just wasn't true. And Tom Brady left New England, and the very next year, he went to Tampa, and they won a Super Bowl when Belichick never really, did he ever go to the playoffs again? I don't think Belichick ever went to the playoffs again after Brady left. And he has a losing record as a head coach without Brady. So it's just ridiculous.
Is their attention to particular media, namely the mainstream media. So the oldest age group is the one that is most influenced by mainstream media. And that, I think, was a big factor. I think it was also, about foreign policy, why all the younger groups were unhappy with Trump's endorsement and were actually not going for Trump's endorsed candidate, and were going for Massie because of his stance of not taking money from, foreign influence groups and so on. And they liked it. But that's basically spread in social media and in the more recent, the new media. So I think that's the link. It's the media.
What is PBD podcast got the whole like first take or pardon the interruption going on here? I dig it. I'm not hating, but I haven't watched PBD lately, but like I like the ESPN style PTI going on here. So that's what it looks like. You got all your topics there. Not bad. I respect it.
And the link to the age group. And as Luke was saying, it's actually the gap wasn't that huge.
I don't know what this guy is talking about, and I'm bored out of my mind listening to him.
So over time, what is going to happen is clear. And, so next time round, it could, just by the age dynamics, could look very different as the younger groups, of course, that are today younger, move forward.
Oh my God. Like the PBD side is kind of it's starting to feel a little like mainstream media. And this is why I don't work well on, say, like a Piers Morgan panel. I don't work well on structured stuff like that. Like, I would like to just say, hey, dude, shut the fuck up. You're retarded. You can't do that on this show, though. You have to I have to wait for my turn. I can't interrupt people, which is gay as hell. That's really mainstream level shit. Like, I want to just say, hey, dude, shut the fuck up. It's because of Trump. All the other bullshit you're saying doesn't matter. Everything you're saying, you're just wasting everyone's time. Half the people are falling asleep. Nobody gives a fuck. It's because Trump endorsed his opponent that no one even knew, yet won because Trump endorsed him.
And become more dominant.
Yeah, but also the other part is, when I was younger, I was probably also a socialist. I was probably also rich people are bad. 'Cause my mother was a communist.
That is
my mother was, well, probably not. I was never a socialist, but my mother was a communist. So for me, we probably didn't like rich people. And so, you know, the saying, you know, when you're younger and you don't vote Democrat, you know, you don't have a heart. When you're older and you
does Jeremy glaze Brady, Trump, Interstellar, Nolan, or Nintendo more? The answer is John freaking Murdoch. Okay, there you go.
Vote Democrat, you don't have a brain, right? You know, kind of, you've heard that saying before. So the question becomes, when you look at this, 65 and up, he won. The 45 to 64, Massie won. And then the 30 to 34, Massie won. 18 to 29, Massie won. Thank you. Massie won. When you look at something like this, but it goes to the following, because Massie was a fan favorite by a lot of people. And then to me, I think something happened. And here's what I think happened with Massie. Massie was a fan favorite. Massie was a guy that maybe, you know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you're like, this guy's special. COVID.
No, Massie. And again, this goes back to what I'm saying about all these other things. Like, I mean, it's important to understand there are parallels from the internet to real life. There's no doubt about it. There are parallels. But we're also in a time where the internet and real life are very wide apart right now. And there's no cut and dry way to assess each situation. Each situation is different. But Thomas Massie is a classic example of the internet and real life being completely different. Online, it seems like Thomas Massie has no chance of losing. But in reality, all it took was for Trump to just get a warm body and endorse him, and boom, it's over. So I think that that's what is going on.
He was a guy that maybe, you know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you're like, this guy's special. COVID, the stuff that he was doing, the positions that he was taking, you're like, okay, we like this guy. And then all of a sudden, something got in his ear, somebody. I have a speculation on who I think it is.
Oh, really? You think maybe a foreign country maybe got into the ear of the guy that's saying that a foreign country is involved with American politics? No, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so that the guy that is constantly talking about a foreign country, wink, wink, Israel, is who he accuses of being involved. You're telling me that that guy could be paid by a foreign entity to say these things about another foreign? No way. I would never believe that.
But somebody got in his ear that said, I think you're bigger than Trump. I think you can go against Trump. I think you can beat Trump. So you know what? You know, the big...
Well, to be fair, we do know that there's one situation where that did happen before. I think that Patrick Bet-David is taking another situation and theorizing it about this, okay? Because we know that this happened with Ron DeSantis, okay? This is what happened with DeSantis. They gassed up DeSantis for the 2024 run. They made DeSantis believe that Trump was going to be bogged down by, lawsuits and all of this other stuff. And they're like, you're going to swoop right in and you're going to be our guy. That's what they did to DeSantis. I don't think that necessarily happened to Massie.
I think it is. But somebody got in his ear that said, I think you're bigger than Trump. I think you can go against Trump. I think you can beat Trump. So you know what? You know, the big, beautiful bill, voting against it. Migration, voting against it. Then all of a sudden he's voting against Trump. And he's siding with Democrats. I mean, do you realize who were the people that were most devastated last night? A lot of Democrats.
I agree. Somebody says dude was going against Trump the whole time. Yeah, like this isn't anything new. Like this isn't just happened in this last 8-9 months. Like Massie has always been a thorn in Trump's side. They've been going at it. Now there's times where, they've put down the boxing gloves and Trump has endorsed him. But like this has been a consistent thing, give or take like a couple of times where they stopped. But overall, Massie has consistently been against Trump.
Ro Khanna, devastated. A lot of liberals coming out saying, I can't believe this guy lost. And this is where it kind of takes me, and I want to go a little bit deeper into the story with these guys, and I'll ask you guys about it. Tom, I'll come to you, and then Richard, I'll come to
you guys ever seen how much this dude Patrick Bet David charges for these connect things where you ask him a question? You ever seen this shit? Isn't it like tens of thousands of dollars where if you just to get expert advice from Patrick Bet David, like $10,000 fucking dollars or some shit like that? How much is that shit? Hang on. PBD. Let's see here. What? First of all, before we talk about this, Zwanny for $100 over on Rumble says therapy tax for me, John freaking Murdoch, Scully, and Nandy. We need help. Why do we keep giving this fig money? I have no idea, Zwanny. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. If I had the solution, I probably wouldn't give it to you. So, I mean, why would I like, it's kind of like, here in Orlando, they've been working on these fucking roads for like years. And I'm like, why do they keep working on these fucking roads? Like, is it ever going to end? And well, if they ever finish the road, they don't have a job. So if I had the answer, I'm not sure I'd give it to you, because then you'd probably find some other better streamer to give money to. And that would not be good for me. So, thank you, Zwanny. But right here, look at this shit. Okay. Look at this shit. Patrick Bet David charges $800 per minute for a FaceTime video call, $110 per text message, video answer $300. What the fuck are we doing? Holy shit. That is wild. Do people pay for that? Clearly they do. I mean, that is insane. You know what, though? This is why I'm so nice to my audience. I don't charge you guys that. I would never. When John freaking Murdoch sends me $100, I don't chastise him. I'm not sarcastic to him. I'm very thankful. I've never been disrespectful to anybody that super chatted me. I would never talk down to them because I appreciate people's hard-earned money. I would never do that. Would never. I would never bring up the fact that not only is Scully here now, but Scully was also in the stream earlier. Hail Scully 450 says, hail chat. I don't know why, Zwanny. Should we get a support group? Thank you, Zwanny and Scully. I appreciate both of you. That's insane. $800 per minute for a FaceTime video call. I'll be honest with you guys. I would set that up. I would. If I had confidence anybody would pay it, but nobody would fucking pay it. Do you know why? Because I'll do that shit for free. So why would I do that?
To you afterwards is if you think you're bigger than the establishment, then prove it. Because guess what? Guess what Trump did in 2015? Trump went against the establishment. Trump called out everybody in the establishment. And the establishment was who? The Bushes. He beat them single-handedly. Karl Rove, establishment. He beat them single-handedly.
He beat all of them. The Obamas, the Bushes, the Clintons, the mainstream, the rhinos, the Democrats. He beat all of them. In my lifetime, I have never, obviously, I talk about sports. I'm a sports fan. I used to watch baseball back in the day. Used to watch basketball. Obviously, been watching football my whole life. I've watched NASCAR. I've watched a lot of, stuff in my day. I used to watch boxing back in the day. I've been following politics. In my lifetime, there is no accomplishment that is even remotely close to what Donald Trump has done in politics. There's just nothing. Like, you have to actually step. We don't appreciate it because we're in the moment. And that's just a sad reality. We don't appreciate things until they're gone. Like, dude, Donald Trump went up against the most powerful and evil people in the world and beat all of them. He beat the entire system. It really is unreal what he has done. It is never going to happen again in our lifetimes. And there was a tweet the other day, and in 100 years from now, 200 years from now, people are not going to believe that Trump was a real person. People are going to talk about Trump in 100 years from now, and people are going to be like, there's no way this guy existed. You guys are literally making stuff up. There's no way that he did all the things you say. Like, yeah, he did.
Fox News, they were not for Trump. They beat him single-handedly. Mainstream media, he wasn't against them. He beat the mainstream media single-handedly. Okay? Every other story criticizing him about the Republican, they wanted Jeb Bush, they wanted Ted Cruz, they wanted all these establishment guys. He beat them. Based on what? Based on the policies that he went with, which is what? Border, migration, crime, NATO, China. That's what he went on. Okay. The market said, listen, I like what this guy has to say. Let's give him a shot. He won. So Massie goes up there. If I were to ask you right now, what was Massie's biggest top 3 points? What did Massie run on? If you were Tom, what did Massie run on? What are the top 3 things Massie run on? Did you follow it closely?
I can't say closely, but I think a key point is what you said about, when he voted against these bills.
But stay on this for a second. I want you to stay on this.
You can't name anything he stands for.
What did Massie run on? What were Massie? Because it's very, very important.
Well, not taking foreign money. I think that's certainly.
So that's one. What else?
Anti-war, right?
Okay, show what else? Epstein is one. We have to put
Epstein files. I mean, he did that.
He voted against the big beautiful bill, right? Multiple times he voted against the president.
My principles.
On the ideas that he had. But a bigger one was mainly Israel. There's an article that came out, Rob, that said Israel divided the Republican Party. I don't know if you've seen that thing that Israel divided. You know what I think America is saying? I think America is kind of saying, look,
I will continue to repeat that Israel is a major topic online. It is basically irrelevant to the real world. People in the real world don't care, don't talk about it. It's not even on people's radar. Online, huge story online, massive story online. Means nothing to people in the real world. Nobody gives a shit.
Guys, of course, everybody, like Trump said something the other day, everybody spies on everybody. When he's meeting with Xi, we spy on China, they spy on us. Everybody is using their intel to steal from everybody. Everybody at this level is doing. You don't think Israel is using Epstein to get intel on American politicians and world politicians? You're naive if you don't believe that. I fully believe that. I had a 3-hour conversation with his brother. Fully believe they were a part of that. But you don't think we do that? You don't think others do that? So I think America's finally come up and they said, listen, man, if everything was about Israel, and if that's an issue that America is fully on, Trump would have lost yesterday 0-39. If America was like, well, Thomas Massie and all these guys, that everything they're blaming Israel, money coming from the outside, AIPAC, Adelson, which Adelson gave a lot of money. We know who Miriam Adelson. Well, these are the people that are running the president. Guess what America said? Yeah, you guys are famous on Twitter. You guys are big podcasters. This is not how America feels.
Thank you.
39-0. Because if you truly have a message that you want to disrupt the establishment, the market would have sided with you. And they didn't last night. It was a devastating loss last night. It was a massive victory for the president last night. And I know a lot of people are out there saying, well, you know this, you know that, you know this. Because sometimes, like, I remember the same.
A lot of people are coping. Okay. That's what is happening right now. A lot of people are coping big time.
Oh, this, you know that, you know this. Because sometimes, like, I remember DeSantis. I'll compare DeSantis to Massie in a very weird way. Okay.
Didn't I just say this?
I live in Florida because I love DeSantis. I think he's a great governor.
He is a great
phenomenal governor.
He's a great
You're
governor.
always welcome to come here from Cleveland. You'll love us here. Hey, he's a phenomenal governor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I was against him when he ran against the president and he never called him. I was against him. I'm like, hey, the guy helped you, and I was against it. So somebody in...
I don't know if I remember. I got to go back, and maybe some of you remember. I feel like I criticized PBD because he was riding the fence on the DeSantis Trump thing. I think. I feel like he was riding the fence. There were so many people back then, it's hard to remember, but I don't recall for sure. But I feel like he was riding the fence on Trump and DeSantis. Maybe I'm wrong.
Massie's ear and DeSantis' ear said, hey, you can beat him. You can beat him. He's not right. DeSantis believed it. Massie believed it. They both lost. So now what do you do moving forward? Now, DeSantis has recovered from it. I don't know what Massie's going to do because Massie's now saying he's going to be running in 2028.
Thomas Massie is going to start a podcast, okay? He's going to start a podcast. He's going to have, he's going to have like a deer head in the back. He's going to have some, guns, and it's going to be like I'm a regular guy just like you. He's going to be wearing some, some worn out jeans. He's going to have some Wolverine boots, and it's going to be he's going to have a button-up shirt with no ties. He's going to go the whole Tucker Carlson route. Okay. That's what he's going to do. That's it right there. That's the move for Massie now.
But the market is telling you what direction they're going. The market is telling you what issues matter to us going into 27, 28. And they're watching. If you can't win the Congress, how the hell are you going to win presidency in 2028? It's a very different. Yesterday was a very, very big night. Now, of course, this will lead to midterms and different things that's coming on, but we'll see. I know a lot of people are not happy. I know a lot of people are happy, but it was a weird night last night.
I think one issue is what you mentioned, this key example, the big, beautiful bill. So here we have this huge piece of legislation with so many different issues put together. And that was used quite, cleverly, if I may say, by the advertising against Massie, picking something that a lot of Americans would agree on in the big, beautiful bill and saying, oh, Massie voted against that. Well, actually, he found some bad points in the big, beautiful bill that a lot of Americans also think is bad. And that's why he thought we can't vote for it. And you see, so the issue is you can actually mess things up and confuse people and confuse voters and really distort politics if you have this. I think we need a reform. I mean, one is looking at the money side of U.S. elections. That's been a long-standing issue in general. But the second one is, and that's perhaps simpler to push through, to have pass a law that says we need single-issue bills.
Well, I would say, too, is as much as the market and the electoral side clearly delivered a message, in the financial markets yesterday, it's interesting, the bond market delivered a message. U.S. 10-year Treasury yields are up 70 basis points since this war started. They're breaking out to very dangerous levels.
Who is this guy? Like, I feel like this guy, I don't know who he is, but like he's got like this kind of attitude like he was a hot shot in high school, And like he really he was the man in high school and he was taken seriously. I don't know who he is, but he kind of has that vibe to him though. Like, man, in high school I was a badass, bro. People listen to me. So then he went bald. Anyway, the point being, all of that is to frame this situation that when Trump decides to focus, all right, I think everything's going to be okay. The gas prices and the economy is a huge problem right now. Okay. I'm not going to tell you that that's not, because it is. It's a huge problem, not just for me, but for everyone right now. It's a big problem. We'll see what happens. But okay. Next up, let me get to some of these super chats really quick. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Kevin got that one. Grilled Retard says, Mr. President, a second Kino Casino channel has been struck down. Yep, they'll be covering that one tonight. The Under Armour Gamer says, I love POV of rides. Oh, yeah, those are good videos. Those are good. CPP says, I like watching tornado videos, if not politics. I'm like almost 9 minutes back in the stream. Yeah, tornado videos are pretty cool. I find tornadoes to be pretty scary, but they are pretty cool to watch on YouTube. The movie Twister is fantastic. So Zinny Biscuit says, what do I watch outside of politics? Do you have the rest of the week? Sewing, history, reactions, crafting, bass guitar, horses, girl, world, etc. What is that? What is that last thing, Zinny Biscuit? Penelope Page says, hail the 199. Miniature Wrong Thing says, Tectone, Asmon, and Imaru did a podcast together. Yeah. I remember that. Slane Hope says, hail the 199, hail the Snake Pit, and hail good Jeremy. Heel Refs says, good Jer Tax, hail the Snake Pit. Nilla Wafer Thunder says, earlier you said hiring Ellen Page at all was a problem. She shouldn't get work just because she's annoying. Yeesh. No, I never said that. Never said that. I said that based on her actions on a previous show where they had to fundamentally change a storyline within the show because of her real life mental illness, that proves that she should not get hired on a major production because she will do nothing but bring problems into it. That is what I said, and I stand by it. They literally changed the fucking, like, if you're playing a fucking character on TV and something happens to you in real life, so let's just say hypothetically, okay? Brad Pitt was married to Angelina Jolie, okay? But Brad Pitt gets a role in a movie, and Brad Pitt is a married man in the movie. Well, if he gets a divorce in the middle of the fucking movie, does that mean they have to rewrite his marriage status in the fucking movie? No, it's fucking retarded. So the fact that the Umbrella Academy bent the knee to these delusions in the real fucking world for this person is proof that this person should never be taken seriously and never be hired again. End of discussion. It's fucking crazy, dude. TJ says a what? Oh, condition is better. Oh, really, fool? I had to think about what you were saying for a minute. Let's see here. Quentin says Chrono Trigger greater than Claire Obscure and Fortnite. I mean, I don't know who's arguing that, but yeah, I mean, Chrono Trigger is better than both. Movie Erotic says age didn't matter. Galrain won 19 of 21 counties. Correct. Marmillan says homie is just filling the airwaves or filling the airwaves to get the next ad. All this to say older folks watch mainstream. Younger gen watch the newer media and ignore all the weight of the Trump endorsement. 100%. Let's see. John Parsons says, D-Day Cobra, you got a shout out from Matt Morse today. Matt's awesome, man. He's a good dude. I didn't get a chance to watch his show today, so but that's cool. Like I said, he's I told him I'm just a big fan of his, and we were talking the other day, and you know you'll find out one day what we're talking about. But anyway, point being is I was just telling him, I was like, dude, I think it's awesome, man. You've just blown up in the past year, and this is the problem with a lot of YouTubers. Like, so I cover politics. And here comes Matt out of nowhere and just explodes. Most YouTubers get jealous when another person just comes out of nowhere and gets more views than them. I looked at it and I'm like, Matt's awesome. He does great fucking work, man. I'm a fan of his channel. And so anyway, I was just telling him that's it, man. I just like you're crushing it. I try to learn stuff from you and all of that. But yeah, he's a real good dude, man. And I'm really happy that his channel is doing so well. Freeza Max says, going to watch the gaming stream, Ben's Sister Tax. Let's see. We got River Miles 450 says there's annoying and then there's cutting your tits off. These things are not the same. Absolutely. Listen, man, I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care what you're going through in life. I'm not going to judge you because you're going through something. And I didn't watch the Umbrella Academy, okay? Just to be clear, whatever that show was, I never watched it. Look, just so we can pull this up so I'm very much versed on what happened here. Hang on just a minute. So right here. It was like they changed something in this show because of this. Right here. Okay. So yes, in season 3 of the Umbrella Academy, the show integrated Elliot Page's real life transition into the story. His character, originally named Vanya, comes out as a transgender man and changes his name to Victor. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? So yes, I absolutely reject this person being involved in any other future major productions. If you want to start an indie project that talks about mental illness and the effects it's having, hire this freak, okay? Go for it. But if you're talking about bringing this person into the Odyssey, no, I reject that completely. So let's see. We got, okay, we got that. Thank you, River Miles. I appreciate it. Justin says, I'm having In-N-Out in your honor. FYI, Culver's Pub Burger is out now, at least over here, if you haven't tried it. Thank you. In-N-Out Burger, so good. Let's see here. Hang on, I gotta respond to this. Okay, but yes, I gotta say, man, going to California and having In-N-Out Burger, I'm still Butter Burger number 1, but that In-N-Out Burger is very close to being number 1. It's close. It's really close. However, the whole package, Culver's wins because Culver's has better fries. Substantially better fries, actually. But those burgers it's close. In-N-Out Burger is amazing. Did somebody just accuse me of having a quartering pause? Logan. Listen, I've taken a lot of disrespect from this chat. All right? I've taken a lot of disrespect from this chat. This may be the most disrespectful thing anyone has ever said to me. I am hurt right now. You have hurt me. This may be the first time that I've ever shown the internet you've actually hurt me, but this cuts deep right here, bro. Like this is bad. This is real bad. So thank you, Justin. I appreciate it, man. And Rubdy. I almost said your name and I was like, wait, what? 5 gifted memberships. Again, this is why I'm very careful about certain names. Okay. Very careful about certain names. Never want to end up in this position right here.
All right. Smelly Negro. I love that name. Which hockey movie chant, I swallow knickers come? No idea.
Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mar Millen says, no, double down, Jer. I agree. The freaks like that should not be flaunted around in public like it's normal. Mar Millen tax right there. We love the Mar Millen tax. It's the best tax. Let's see. Antonia for 10 says, Massie started huffing his own farts and no one was honest with him about it. Honestly, you're right. But this also applies to one Christopher Nolan right now, sadly enough, with what's going on with the Odyssey. The 1-8 train says, I thought about calling Patrick Bet David for advice. Then I realized having someone kick me in the groin would be a better investment. Hey, or you could just send your money here to CobraCast, okay? You could just send your money to CobraCast. I mean, it's simple as that. JDT199 says, Who would pay you for talking? Ridiculous. I know, right? I know. Sadly, we are at this point where this is I had to respond to this. So we're all expecting the Odyssey to be terrible, but does that mean we have to pretend all of Nolan's past movies were bad now? That's exactly what's going to happen now on the internet. I'm telling you, this is where we are. Like, so to say that The Dark Knight is terrible is fucking wild. All right. Now, you don't say The Dark Knight Rises, fine. The Dark Knight being terrible, shut up. Like, but this is about to happen because of all the Odyssey stuff. Now, Nolan's never made a good movie. That's the narrative now. Nolan's never made a good movie. He's always been overrated. He's always been overhyped. He's always been garbage. Welcome to the internet. That's about what's going to happen now. I've already seen it. So get ready, because that's what's about to happen. So it's like this. I think Kevin Smith is a loser now. And I've hated Kevin Smith for years. That doesn't change the fact that I love early Kevin Smith movies. Like Clerks 1 and Clerks 2, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Mallrats. You will no matter how much of a pussy Kevin Smith is in current day, it will never change the fact that I love OG Kevin Smith movies. And I even love watching his Evening with Kevin Smith, stand-up shows he did. They were great. He sucks now, 100%. But that's about that's just the reaction of the internet. So that's how it's going to go. Yapping Tom says, looking for some expert advice, Jer. Have any? I would say check out this show, Patrick Bet David, PBD podcast. He's got a great deal, really affordable rates where you can get really good advice from him. I mean, it's really cheap. It's really cheap. You should totally check that out. Maybe you could, if you send him a $2.79 super chat, I'm sure he'll acknowledge you. I'm sure he will. Thank you, Yapping Tom. Commodore fan says, I'm seeing so much fake BS from the South Carolina governor's race on who Trump endorsed that I don't know who to vote for. What's your thoughts? Thanks. I'd have to, I don't even know what's going on in South Carolina right now, so I'd have to look into this. So I am completely oblivious to that right now. Jeremy gives bad advice for free, says Laughing Man. I try my best. MacGyver says, PBD living large. Lapco says, I pay $5 for 30 seconds of ignorance all the time. This is what I'm talking about. Yapping Tom said, if Nolan made a Trump biopic, Jeremy, absolute cinema. Probably not, actually. Again, so as much as I'm a Nolan fan, there's certain things I really don't want him involved in. Like I don't really want him to do the Odyssey, but obviously when it was announced, I was very intrigued. But I don't want Nolan to do things like Star Wars. I don't want him involved in superhero movies anymore. I don't want him doing a romantic comedy. So I really don't want any of that. So there's certain lanes he needs to stay in. Kevin Spears says Trump is the Dark Knight. Trabuco says, Big Maxon Entertainment. Hail 199. Mellow Fungus says, I hate to say I have a specific good Jeremy now. TJ says, stop looking at me, Swan. Cameron says, did you ever check out my post? I just got here, so I don't know what we're talking about. What about Shake Shack? You mean Shake Shack? Shake Shack is good. Very good. It's not on the level of In-N-Out Burger or Culver's, but Shake Shack is very, very good. Movie Erotic says, do you still like Kitty Pryde in X-Men, even if it's Paige? Yeah, I mean, again, it kind of applies to I don't retroactively change my opinions because somebody else changed. So I don't really care about that. So the same thing that applies with Kevin Smith. I think Kevin Smith is a complete loser now. He is a total loser. But I still love Clerks 1 and 2, and I always will. Phil says, because I can't afford a PBD tax. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Bearded Storm Shadow. I always say Bearded Sports Psych is your name, but you have Storm Shadow as your profile. Your name used to be Storm Shadow. That's why I say Storm Shadow. Nolan directing FNT movie. He's casting Beardo as Nerdrotic, Idris Elba as QBG, Kathy Griffin as gender swapped Ryan, and Steve Buscemi as Jeremy. Man, I'm glad I called that guy. Miniature Vom thinks, as people forget, Massie was the deciding vote on Biden's budget bill that suspended the debt ceiling, then refused Trump's big, beautiful bill for fiscal responsibility. Some principles, eh? Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's got all the principles in the world. Okay, next up on the agenda, we got more to discuss, so don't worry. It's going to be fun. Let's see. Well, actually, there's Matt Morris right there on Twitter. He's got a good post. What is this right here? 6 months ago, Thomas Massie said that if all the names of the guilty men aren't released in the Epstein files, he would read them on the floor of the House. Really? Really? Well, he's still got his spot for about 7 months. Thomas, we'd love to hear you do this right now.
We will know when the Epstein files are released because men will go to prison. And until that happens, the justice hasn't been served. There's no way they're going to cover up the crimes that have been perpetrated on 1,000 victims. So names of rich and powerful men will get released when the president signs this bill. We know when they're out because we know what some of these lists, who some of the men are. I don't have the names in my head right now. The ultimate thing that we could do is read the names on the floor of the House, and that could happen. But what needs to happen is the FBI needs to release these names.
Is that something you might do if he resists this, if the DOJ releases this? Could you go to the floor and read these names?
We absolutely would do that. Marjorie would do that. I would do that. There are Democrats who would do that. We will know.
Just a big old virtue signal. That's all it is. That's all this is. He's a grandstander and a virtue signaler. And everybody sees through his bullshit now. And I get it, man. There's a lot of emotionally weak people that are melting down over this. They're coping real hard. And that's something they're going to have to deal with. They'll find something else to complain about. They'll find something else to cry about. No worries. But, shout out to them. I'm sure it'll all work out. Now, something else that happened today that I'm very confused about, and I'm not going to act like I know all the details, but the Daily Wire CEO, Caleb Robinson, resigns. Didn't Jeremy Boring just resign as CEO? Now another CEO resigns from the Daily Wire? And the release from the Daily Wire is very weird. Statement from Caleb Robinson. Stepping down as CEO of Daily Wire, effective immediately. My new title is guy on the board who still owns a lot of the company. Pay cut in stress. Raise in the important things. Handing the keys to Mike Richards. No, not that Mike Richards. Yes, that Mike Richards. 5-time Emmy winner, Hollywood expat. Eats, sleeps, and drinks content. Never makes a deal unless the price is right. Built something special here over a decade. We're the largest and most impactful digital media company for people who love this amazing country. And now we make it even bigger. Thank you to our audience of millions. Yes, millions. What? There is something going on at the Daily Wire. Now, it's been speculated for a while that the Daily Wire has a lot of financial problems. I know that there's a lot of people that really, really, really don't like the Daily Wire, and they're pushing a lot of narratives like that. We've heard a lot of stuff from Ben Shapiro about, him getting very frustrated. As I've said, I'm not a fan of the Daily Wire at all. Is this for real? Former Jeopardy host Mike Richards has been named the new CEO. What the hell is happening right now? What? Is this a joke? Israel? This is wild. Yeah, I just don't know. it does feel like things are really bad for them. And I don't know how serious, but it seems like this could be very serious for them. Right here, long-acting Daily Wire CEO Caleb Robinson, long-acting, steps down and is replaced by freshly appointed COO, ex-Jeopardy host Mike Richards. This shift comes shortly after the notable collapse and shrinkage of Daily Wire's social footprint and staff size. I am so confused. And it is sad because the Daily Wire had everything going for them, man. They had it all. They had everybody rocking and rolling. They had so much. They had support. They had people giving them money like crazy, donating to their website, becoming members. And now it seems like they've pushed all of that away. Now, Ben Shapiro has obviously been losing a lot of subscribers. That's been documented a lot over the internet, things like that. I think Ben Shapiro, his shtick has just really run dry. Like if you go back to like 2014, 2015, dude, Ben Shapiro was everywhere. Everywhere. He was all over social media debating people. People were loving Ben Shapiro content, all of that. I liked Ben Shapiro content. But the more you actually listen to Ben Shapiro, the more you actually understand that Ben Shapiro is there's no bigger fan of Ben Shapiro than Ben Shapiro. That's just the truth. Let me address something in the chat. As someone that saw her in person, let me say, hotter in person. Big time. Just saying. Like, holy crap. Like, big time. Like, you won't believe it. It's insane. Anyway, going back to this, Ben Shapiro actually uploaded a video about 5 days ago that a lot of people were talking about. I have not seen this. Did I say not seen this? But I want to hear this because this seems a little more relevant now with the Daily Wire seemingly going through the motions. So here's Ben Shapiro says, all the haters can kiss my ass.
Well, hello, everybody. You know, sometimes here on the Ben Shapiro Show, we cover the news, and sometimes we are the news here at the Daily Wire. Well, over the past few weeks, the Daily Wire, you might have noticed, has been the subject of a bunch of hit pieces, like a veritable cornucopia of hit pieces. There was one from the Washington Post, and there was one from Puck, and then finally, there was an especially ridiculous one from the stellar journalists at New York Magazine, who literally plagiarized their hit piece from the Washington Post. So much journalisming, high-level journalisming. Well, this morning, that New York Magazine piece is lighting up the interwebs. It's lighting up X. Well, New York Magazine claims there was a time when Ben Shapiro could reasonably call himself the king of all conservative media. I don't remember that time, but it sounds cool. They said that's all over now. The Daily Wire is instituting significant layoffs. Ooh. Well, according to New York Magazine, the future of conservatism isn't traditional conservatism, you know, like free markets, like equal rights before law, like checks and balances, like traditional virtue. That's done. The future, according to New York Magazine, is Nick Fuentes, confirmed Nazi stan and woman hater.
Dude, Ben Shapiro, like, what is it? He's basically, this is basically The Incredibles, is what this is. This is The Incredibles. You know, you created Nick Fuentes. You did this, Ben Shapiro. You looked down on him. You were disrespectful to him. You treated him like shit. And he is now more relevant than you. I'm not a fan of him. I want to be clear. I'm not a fan of Shapiro or Fuentes, but I can call balls and strikes. And Ben Shapiro, you created him because you think you're better than everybody else.
And man who will never be able to get a human woman pregnant through natural means. Or Tucker Carlson, confirmed anti-capitalist and Muslim apologist and victim of demon scratching. Or maybe Candace Owens, a confirmed slanderer of widows and connoisseur of French testicles. Or maybe Megyn Kelly, click whoring.
At least Fuentes is funny. Fuentes is funny as hell, dude. Like, he is funny. And that's the biggest problem for them. It's not the fact that Fuentes says what he says. It's not that Fuentes has an army of people. It's that Fuentes is genuinely hilarious. Like, he is so damn funny. He is freaking, and he doesn't even have to try.
Grandma Groiper over there. Well, New York Magazine writes, quote, the collapse of the Daily Wire can be seen as a dire warning for traditional Republicans. There are two realities to Shapiro conservatism in 2026. It retains a significant foothold among Republican elites, and it is being fast rejected by the future grassroots of the parties. First of all, that's just wrong. By the polling data, the positions that we take here on the show are reflective of the broad majority of Republicans. That's just the reality. But I figured that we should address all of this head on. So it's true. The Daily Wire laid off some 13% of our workforce since the beginning of the year. And that really sucked. It was truly sad because all those people are great. And anytime, we're in business, anytime you lay people off as a business, that really sucks. It's tough. It's bad for them. It's bad for us. And I'm personally working to find other places of employ for as many of these people as I possibly can, because everybody who we let go deserves a job somewhere else.
See, this is the corporate bullshit that people are sick and tired of. People are tired of being talked down to. If you're going to talk to people, talk to them like a real person. Okay? Talk to them like they're a real person. You are talking down to people. People just want to be talked to like they're normal, okay? Simple as that. And I pull this up to show you this is what I'm talking about. Fuentes is funny. This is how normal people interact with each other.
What do you get at Raising Cane's? So let's see. They have a 2-piece combo, a 3-piece combo, a 4. It's chicken nuggets, fucking idiot. What do you get at Raising Cane's? The pizza. I love Raising Cane's stir fry and fucking pizza, you fucking stupid idiot. What do I get at Raising Cane's? What do you think? I get the fried chicken strips. That's all they... What do you get, the Caniac combo or the box combo? That's what you're asking me? You're asking me, do I get 4 or 5 chicken tenders? I have to know. I have to know. Do you get the 4-piece combo or do you get the 5-piece combo? Do you get it with the toast or do you get it with the coleslaw? What is wrong with you people? Seriously, you're retarded. You have a developmental disorder and you're retarded. And you should feel bad. You should feel bad for asking that. What do you get at Raising Cane's? What do you mean? What do I get? Or what's your Raising Cane's order? What? What's your Pizza Hut order? Pizza.
So yeah, that's the difference. Ben talks down to people from an elitist standpoint. Fuentes is talking to you like you're his fucking friend. Like, that's how a friend would talk to another friend. If a friend asks a stupid question to their other friend, the person can be like, what are you talking? What's wrong with you? Why would you ask me that? What the hell's wrong with you? Ben's like, well, here's for all of the haters. Let me explain to you with my corporatized response and my robotic reasoning, and I'm going to talk over you, and I'm going to talk down to you because I'm better than you, and I have more money, and I'm going to... Nobody cares. Just fucking talk like a normal fucking human being.
They're great folks. But for our critics, this was all cause for massive celebration. The joyful popping of the corks, or maybe in the case of Nick Fuentes, a victory celebration with Catboys and lubricant. And listen, we're honored by the attention.
It's so pre-written. Everything he's saying is pre-written. Listen to how the delivery happened. Like, it's clearly pre-written bullshit.
A victory celebration with Catboys and lubricant. And listen,
it's so bad.
We're honored by the attention. See, here's the thing. People only tend to write stories like this about major American institutions, right? Like Amazon dumps people, it's a big story. Or the Washington Post dumps people, and that's a big story. And thank God we are a major American institution. According to PodTrack, our podcast reach is 41 million people per month. We're ranked 6th globally.
No, okay, Ben, like, this is the problem. You are too serious to be doing, here's my numbers, bro. I'm constantly telling everybody I'm retarded. I don't pull my numbers to brag. I pull my numbers to meme. You're pulling your numbers to brag. You are trying to battle a narrative that you cannot defeat. This is not about your numbers. This is not about how many people watch you. This is about how you behave. This is how you talk down to people. This is because you are overly obsessed with the perception of you. And when you respond like this, dude, Ben Shapiro has 7 million fucking subscribers. I'm never going to have 7 million subscribers. It'll never happen. Like, he is then the top 0.1% of all YouTubers in history. Nobody is ever going to be on his level. Very few people will ever hit the level of fame and wealth that Ben Shapiro has reached. No one is disputing that. We're disputing the fact that once you have hit a certain level, you have plateaued and you have decided that you're better than everybody else. And this is why you're not continuing to grow. You're just losing relevance now because people are tired of being talked down to.
We have a total of 11 shows. Paramount, to take an example from that same chart, is ranked 4th globally. They have 145 shows. So on a per capita basis, we're killing it. We are responsible for the 2 most successful conservative documentaries in history, Matt Walsh's Am I Racist and What is a Woman? Just this week, Vice President
Scully says, come on, Jeremy, never say never. I appreciate that. I mean, ultimately what I have to do is make more videos. I mean, that's really it. Jeremy barely holding on to 169K. Yeah, exactly. Well, to be fair, D-Day Cobra 2 is doing pretty good, and G&G 2 is doing good, where we actually upload videos. Those channels are doing good. It's the live stream channels that are pretty much stagnant right now. But thank you, Scully. I appreciate that.
Vance was quoting our reporting in his fraud investigations, and our White House correspondent, Mary Margaret Olahan, is in the press room asking questions. See, here's the thing. There's no national media coverage. If a top Candace Owens producer and her manager quit, or if Megyn Kelly's YouTube account starts shedding tens of thousands of subscribers a month, or if Tucker Carlson's traffic is disproportionately drawn from Pakistan. We all have our fan base. Those are all things that actually happen, by the way, but nobody really cares.
I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Hey, we all have our fan base. Like, it's so fake. It's so fake. We all have our fan base.
Tens of thousands of subscribers a month, or if Tucker Carlson's traffic is disproportionately drawn from Pakistan. We all have our fan base. Those are all things that actually happen, by the way, but nobody really cares very much because, yeah, those people have significant audience numbers, but they don't have any real institutional influence. They are not institutions. That's not true of the Daily Wire. We're big enough that people care when we trip up.
If this is in fact true, you don't have to announce it. An institution, a powerful institution, doesn't need to announce that they are a powerful institution. Everybody already knows that they are a powerful institution. It would be like the CEO of Nike coming out and saying, hey guys, just so you know, we are an institution, shoe company and a manufacturer. We actually matter in the world. Like, no, the CEO of Nike doesn't have to say that because we all know that Nike is that. This seems like major cope.
And of course, like any business, we have our up.
He's just making rebuttal to claims. Why do you care so much? Well, I didn't care. Clearly, this video is 5 days old and had 6 million views, and I didn't pay any attention to it until, of course, this news happened right here, where the Daily Wire, that's a major institution, had a CEO leave, and it looks like a 15-year-old wrote the note of the CEO stepping down from the fucking company. So that's why I care.
We have our downs. But as Mark Twain put it, the reports of our death are greatly exaggerated. But here's the thing. There is something else going on here. Something very clear going on here. The media left And the woke right, that'd be like Candace and Fuentes and Tucker and Megan, all of them. Together, the new left, they are attempting to destroy traditional conservatism. That's the whole thing here. See, the Daily Wire is the largest traditional conservative media company in the digital space by like a ton, by leaps and bounds. We are multiple times the size of any of these others. We have lots of conversations on our platform between our various hosts about topics ranging from AI to the Middle East, on Catholicism and Judaism and all of it. There's a lot of rich disagreement here at the Daily Wire. But in the end, what we stand for here at the Daily Wire is pretty simple.
Okay, I can't watch anymore, but I think I have the answer to all your problems at the Daily Wire. Now, I'm not making a direct accusation. I'm just noticing a pattern of behavior, okay? I'm just noticing a pattern of behavior. Everything started to fall apart for the Daily Wire 4 days ago. What happened 4 days ago, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know what might have happened 4 days ago? Does anybody have any theories as to what happened 4 days ago? I think you all know where this is going, don't you? I'm waiting to see if somebody can get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Melanie Mack appeared on Michael Knowles' show. And Michael Knowles had so many comments asking what are the oranges for that Michael Knowles had to acknowledge the oranges. What? Right here, the pinned post says from Michael Knowles, can someone explain the oranges to me like I'm a liberal? Oh my goodness. So, yeah, what are the oranges for? Whoa, buddy. Can we get an orange flavored cigar? So what are you guys up to this weekend? I'm doing my part. Whoa, buddy. This is crazy, dude. Like total chud victory right here. Total chud victory. And whoa, buddy. You might not want to go down the rabbit hole as it's deep. However, the entire thing is about internet free speech and the quartering abusing the YouTube system to take down people he doesn't like. The fact that the Daily Wire is having to respond to this shit is amazing. All right. It's absolutely incredible. So, yeah. So there you go. There you go. We'll see what happens. But the ratio is not great on this video, by the way. Just pointing that out. Looks like you've got some unpopular guests there, Michael Knowles. Yikes. Mellow Fungus says, I don't think Nolan's past movies are bad now, but I'll say they are if it upsets Nolan since he decided to become a degenerate. Well, I don't think Nolan's going to hear it because Nolan doesn't, he's not on social media and all of that. But I mean, look, the bottom line is we'll see what happens with the Odyssey, but it deserves to fail. I'll repeat what I said earlier. And I say that I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, but I have to just call it like it is. This movie, based on the casting choices, deserves to fail. That doesn't mean it will fail. I'm just saying that it deserves to. But I'm almost certain it will not fail. Cameron says, the sub icon looks like a vag with Trump voice. Always wanted to say that. That's the Cobra logo. G.I. Joe and Cobra. Quentin Daniels says Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, or Greg Maddux. I mean, I was always a Greg Maddux guy, but like Randy Johnson was a beast, and so was Pedro Martinez, but I'd have to go Maddux. Suggan says, beard of shame for Thomas Massie. Cameron says, I understand why people like Massie and feel he's trying to do the right thing, but we can't turn on each other every time there's a negative. Storm Shadow says, G&G putting in an offer to buy Daily Wire for Shapiro's pop culture takes and add his sister to Tuesday night's main event and Daily. By the way, you can still call me Storm Shadow. I appreciate that. Yeah, honestly, I've said this before. I can't stand Ben Shapiro's political takes, but I absolutely like his pop culture takes for the most part. And Mod Eric says, Jeremy Boring, former CEO of Daily Wire. Jeremy Boring, a.k.a. D-Day Cobra, current host of CobraCast. Yeah, I don't, Jeremy Boring. I still don't know why he follows me on Twitter. River Miles says, notable shrinkage tax for 10. River Miles says, Ben Shapiro's legacy is having a sister with, well, we all know. JDT says, can we get a while show with you Shapiro impression voice? It might help your views. You mean a whole show? Is that what you meant to say? No, I can't do a Ben Shapiro impersonation for long. That would be difficult. Bumblebee says, can you put some Sweeney on at least if we have to listen to Ben's voice? River Miles says, I get the oranges, but I still have no idea what the small hat is about. And then over on Rumble, see, Nathan says, too much of the right is female coded. Mod Eric says, who would you take, the Road Warriors, Demolition, or Legion of Doom, or the Heart Foundation? Well, I mean, first of all, like Road Warriors and Legion of Doom are the same. Oh, so you're saying Road Warriors and Demolition or Legion Doom, or so you're wanting all four. I mean, I preferred the Road Warriors even before they became Legion of Doom. I love Demolition and I love the Heart Foundation, but I'm going to go with the Road Warriors. Mod Eric says, I would accept a call from Jeremy for $800 a minute. I do not know if I would do less, though. Beast Man says, it's bigger, it's badder. Ladies and gentlemen, it's too much for Mr. Shapiro. If you know, you know. Well, we do know. I am doing a gaming stream tonight. Finally, I have not played this new Fortnite update. I'm actually very excited to play this tonight. So Jay is going to be joining me. So if you guys are interested in hanging out, it's going to be fun. I mean, again, this new update is supposedly really good. And Don 3PO will be joining me. So hopefully you guys will hang out with us over there. I'm going to set this up for probably 45 minutes from now, something like that. Yeah, I'll probably do 10:45. And so finally bringing Fortnite back. It's been a while, but we're finally going to do it. Jeeping Baylor 450 says, just saw Michael. I have not seen a movie worth seeing in theaters in some time. Loved it. Part 2 is already in production. Curious what your thoughts are on them omitting major timeline events and family members such as Janet. Well, first of all, I love the movie too, so I'm glad you watched it. It's one of the best theater experiences I have had in a long time. It's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, like Janet not being in it was kind of strange, but she also didn't want to be in it. That was her choice. I thought it was kind of weird, Janet not being in it, but she chose not to be. And then when you're talking about major timeline events, I don't know what you mean by that, because obviously, spoilers for the movie, it ends at the bad era. So we aren't to the controversial timeline of Michael Jackson's life yet. So I don't know what other stuff you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about his upbringing, but I thought they did a relatively decent job of covering the abuse and everything. They probably could have went harder on that, but I also think they made Joe Jackson look like a piece of shit in it. So, now with part 2, I think that they've got an uphill battle for sure. But with this movie making $1 billion, whew, I mean, it's heading in that direction anyway. It isn't officially at $1 billion yet, but it's heading there. I am so happy for the Jackson family, and the fact that Michael Jackson is dominating all the charts now is super, super cool, man. And it makes me so happy. So we'll see. I'm glad that there's a new generation of people that are learning the greatness of Michael Jackson, the greatest entertainer to ever live. No one will ever come close to Michael Jackson. He is not just a king of pop. He's the king of all music. There will never be an entertainer that will ever match the level of stardom and the talent that he possessed. It's unreal how great he was. And for me, like, my favorite Michael Jackson album is Dangerous, and so we don't even get to Dangerous in part 1. So seeing the Dangerous era is going to be great because I love the Dangerous era. So So let's see. Logan says, watch. What? What is that cast on the green triangle? What are you talking about, Logan? And then Godzilla's Grease says Elvis is still better. I mean, I'm not going to hate on Elvis. Elvis is a legend, but Michael Jackson is significantly better than Elvis Presley. Like, it's not even close. It really isn't. Michael, no matter what era Michael Jackson lived in, Michael Jackson would dominate every single era of music. The dude was insane. And I don't want to take anything away from Elvis because Elvis was a legend, but I do think that there was some benefit to Elvis kind of being first and kind of like the Beatles. You know, he was like, if you was to drop Elvis in today's music, he would be a star. Absolutely. Michael Jackson would be the mega star of the time. So even back when he was 8 years old on the Ed Sullivan Show, the dude was doing insane stuff. Don't you talk about the Beatles? Oh, the Beatles fucking suck. Like, I won't say Elvis sucked because Elvis did not suck, but the Beatles are trash. I'm sorry. The Beatles are horribly overrated garbage. All right. I know they were the first, so everybody loved them. The Beatles were trash. I can't stand the Beatles. Like, they've got a couple of decent songs, but honestly, when other people sing their music, it's better. Simple as that. And don't even get me started on John Lennon's garbage ass and Imagine. But there's Across the Universe did Hey Jude song, and it is so much better. This version of Hey Jude is significantly better. Right here. Is this it? I think. This is a better version.
Take a sad song and make it better.
Crushes the Beatles version.
To let her into your
So much better. So much better.
You can stop.
So much better. Actually, that's even slightly different than the studio version. So, but the studio version of that song better than the Beatles. Yep. I know that's a very unpopular take. I know it. I'm going to get roasted. I know it's fine, but I've been saying that for a long time. But anyway, we're going to end it there. If you guys want to hang out with me for Fortnite, I do appreciate it. I've actually never seen the movie, which is shockingly enough. I've never seen Across the Universe, the movie. I just know that I know the song, and it's really good. Enjoy the strike, probably. We'll see what happens. But all right, guys, thank you. If you want to hang out with me with the new Fortnite update, me and Don 3PO, the Cobra Cow connection will be there. Thank you for all the support. As always, have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.